Useful and harmful microbes. The type of microorganism of lactobacilli. Lactobacilli is a bacteria. Then the lactobacilli, they are minute and rectangular in shape. Then lactobacilli, they are anaerobic bacteria. Lactobacilli convert lactose sugar in the milk into lactic acid. pH of milk decreases, causing coagulation. That means the proteins and fat, they come together and they form a semi-solid mass. Uses of lactobacilli in milk products like yogurt, buttermilk, ghee, cheese, Shrikhand, etc. Lactobacilli fermentation is useful in large scale production of cider, cocoa, pickles of vegetables, etc. For the treatment of abdominal discomfort, probiotic, abdominal discomfort, this lactobacilli can be used. Then for use for domestic cattle like cows and buffaloes, they are used for fermentation of leavened fodder. Fermentation of leavened fodder. So these are the uses of lactobacilli. Apart from that, it is used for fermentation process used to make certain wines and certain breads. Next microorganism is rhizobium. This is also a bacteria, symbiotic bacteria. Then they are rod shaped microorganism and they live in roots of leguminous plants. That is the pulses. Rhizobium supply nitrogen to the plant and in exchange get food from it. So such is called the symbiotic life. Such is called the symbiosis. Name the host plant where rhizobium can live. They live in leguminous plants like beans. After harvesting a leguminous crop, leftover roots and other plant parts are deliberately dumped in soil. The reason for that is as follows. After harvesting a leguminous crop, leftover roots and other plant parts are deliberately dumped in a farm soil to maintain its bacterial population. Use of rhizobium has helped to reduce the chemical fertilizers and their adverse effect. It has also helped to reduce expenses on fertilizers and thus works in benefit to farmers. So that's why this dumping occurs. It's a source of nitrogen. So when the leguminous plants they are dumped, then the rhizobium population in the soil increases, and which gives nitrogen to the soil. Then briefly explain rhizobial inoculation. It's as follows. Nowadays seeds are coated with rhizobium solution or powder before sowing. Rhizobia enter the plantlets. This is called rhizobial inoculation. This experiment has helped in supply of nitrogen to cereals and other crops besides leguminous plants. Name the reproduction method of yeast. Reproduction method of yeast is called budding. Reproduction method of yeast is called budding. In the process of obtaining nutrition, yeast converts carbohydrate into alcohol and carbon dioxide, and this process is called fermentation. Name the yeast which is used to ferment molasses. It is Saccharomyces. State the uses of alcohol made from the molasses. It is a smokeless high quality fuel. Smokeless high quality fuel. It is used for industrial production of alcohol. How is wine made? Wine is made by fermentation of fructose present in grape juice. Which contain fructose, and it is fermented. Name the yeast used to absorb toxin from the palm oil. Yerovia lipolytica. YERROWIA, Yerovia lipolytica. Name the yeast used for absorption of arsenic. It is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Saccharomyces cerevisiae. CA. Name the bacteria used for removing the oil spill. Is Alcanovirax. Alcanovirax. Then what are antibiotics? Antibiotics are carbon compound obtained from bacteria and fungi. They are carbon compounds obtained from bacteria and fungi. Used for destroying or preventing growth of harmful microorganisms. kill. The broadband antibiotics which are used against wide variety of bacteria, they are known as broad spectrum antibiotics, whereas antibiotics which are used against definitely known bacteria, they are called narrow spectrum antibiotics. Examples of broad spectrum antibiotics are ampicillin, amoxicillin, tetracycline, whereas narrow spectrum antibiotic examples are penicillin, gentamicin, erythromycin, etc. Name the bacteria against which penicillin antibiotic can be used. Penicillin antibiotic can be used against staphylococci, clostridia and streptococci. Name the infections and diseases in which penicillin is used. Answer lies here. The penicillin is used against staphylococci, clostridia, streptococci, and in infections like ear infection, nose infection, throat and skin infection, as well as infections like pneumonia, scarlet fever, penicillin use. State the cautions while using antibiotics. These are the cautions. Antibiotics should be taken only after the prescription of a doctor. Don't purchase any antibiotic from the medical store without a prescription. Don't consume antibiotics on your own to treat common diseases like in a throat infection, common cold or influenza. Even if you feel well before completing the prescribed course, you must continue and complete the course. Otherwise, what will happen? A small trace of bacteria will remain in your body, and that bacteria will be able to live against the antibiotics, and next time if the infection occurs, then antibiotics will not be useful. Don't suggest to other the antibiotics which were useful to you. So main concern is only after the prescription of doctor. Don't take off your own, don't suggest to anybody, and complete the antibiotic course. These are the main points. State the harmful effect caused by the fungi. The microscopic spore fungi are present in air. If there is a sufficient moisture, spore germinate on cotton fabric, gunny bag, leather, wooden item, etc. The fungal hive penetrate deep into the material to obtain nutrition and reproduce. This causes the material to wear and become weak. As a result, the gunny bag, leather item, shoes, purses, belts do not last long, and wooden items also get spoiled. Also, the fungi can grow on edible items like pickle and murabba, and they become poisonous because fungi release mycotoxin, which are the poisonous chemical, into the food, and thus food become poisonous. So these are the effects of fungi. This is the answer to this question, how fungi is harmful to food stuff. Name the bacteria which spoils the cooked food. It is Clostridium. Clostridium causes the spoilage of food. State any 5 viral diseases and 3 bacterial diseases. So some viral diseases are AIDS, hepatitis, influenza, measles and chickenpox, bird flu, swine flu, dengue. Bacterial diseases are pneumonia, leprosy, cholera, whereas malaria is a protozoal disease, dandruff, ringworm, scabies is fungal disease. Which diseases can be prevented using mosquito control? The diseases like dengue can be controlled using the mosquito control. Also, malaria can be prevented by using mosquito control. Which diseases spread through contaminated food and water? So we have to look for the mode of infection. Hepatitis spreads through contaminated food and water. Cholera spreads through contaminated food and water. So these are the two diseases, cholera and hepatitis, food and water. Which diseases can be prevented by vaccination? Measles, chickenpox, they can be prevented by vaccination. Pneumonia can be prevented by vaccination. Which diseases can be prevented by maintaining good physical hygiene? Bird flu, swine flu, they can be prevented by good physical hygiene. Also the skin diseases like dandruff, ringworm, scabies, they are fungal diseases, they can also be prevented through physical hygiene. So this was chapter number 8 for you. All the best.